Good day, grade 12 students. Welcome to the Homeroom Guidance Program Module 3. It is entitled Thinking Aloud My Decisions. As a grade 12 students, you should be responsible for all your decisions. So I hope this module will help you to make your sound decisions. What are the learning objectives? At the end of this module, you are expected to identify the factors that affect the right and wrong actions or decisions. Number 2, recognize the tendencies of every individual to make right and wrong decisions or actions. And number 3, to analyze situations that depict tendencies of making right and wrong decisions or actions. Now, as a start, we will read the story about Anton's indecisiveness. Let me start. Anton, who took up the general academic strand in the senior high school, has a hard time deciding what course to enroll in college. He graduated with honors and has received special citations. He is great in science and math, but he is also into arts and graphic designing. He was told by his parents to decide for his course since colleges are already closing admission and the school opening is approaching fast. He is spending night analyzing his options. Sometimes he barely sleeps over analyzing all considerations. There are also pressures from his friends, from him, to join in the university where there are a wide variety of science courses he can choose from. He also considers the suggestions of his teachers who see his potential in graphic designing and multimedia arts. Anton really wants to enroll in the most prestigious school to study the course that perfectly fits him. After thorough self-deliberation, he comes down to 2 schools and 4 courses. But this does not end his considerations. He still has more factors to visit. His family and friends are starting to worry if he could ever make a final decision. It has finally come one day when everything was in place. Anton finally decides to enroll. He hurries to the school of his choice, but he's an hour late. The enrollment has just closed for the first choice. To add in more to his regrets, his second chosen program has also reached the maximum number of students and it was closed a days ago. Sad and full of regrets, Anton goes home thinking of the lost time overthinking his options, and that is because he cannot just make up his mind. So the processing questions you will answer on a sheet of paper. Did you experience spending more time to make decisions that greatly affects you and your future just like Anton? Share your experience. Number 2. If you are in his situation, what would you be or what would be your next move? Number 3. What should you do so you won't face the same problem as that of Anton? So as a senior high school student, you will experience the same thing as like Anton, but I hope you will learn from the experiences of Anton based on his story. So I hope you could answer that processing questions well. So now let's explore. On a separate sheet of paper, write agree or disagree on a given situations. Read each statement carefully to make sure that it best matches your opinion. Number 1. I cannot tell my best friend's parents about his smoking and drinking tendencies because I will betray his trust. Agree or disagree? Number 2, I should consider the advice of my parents when it comes to choosing my course in college. Number 3, it is okay to take credit of other people's work as long as it serves a good purpose. Number 4, choosing a career that will employ easily is more practical than pursuing a passion that will take years. before getting a good earning. And number five, the curriculum exit that you should choose after senior high school should best match the track and the strand you are taking. So I hope you will be honest in your answering of agree or disagree. For the processing questions, what are the factors that you considered in answering? Number two, do your experiences at this time of pandemic change the way you decide on things? In what way? So I hope you could share your experiences during this pandemic for the last 2 years in our country. So you should keep in mind that we make countless decisions or choices every day. From the very moment we opened our eyes in the morning up to the time we fall back into our beds, and our choices neither right or wrong. According to Stephen J. Hine, author of the book Cultural Psychology, choice is something that is surely valued everywhere. However, the extent to which people value choices and exercise it is influenced by the context we are in. More choices are more available to individuals acting alone than to those who are part of interdependent group of people. However, the limits on their choices are likely not experienced as aversive when individuals share the same goals as their group. So, as an individual, we always make choices. So, according to Stephen J. Hinn, choice is everywhere. So, we should value our choices, and if we make decisions, we are taking into considerations the people surrounding us. For example, you choose not to attend class because your peers invited you to join them outside the school during class hour. Although you are aware of your responsibility in the school, this phenomenon is being explained by Rollo May, an American psychologist who articulated that human beings are inseparable from their environment. A simultaneous relationship exists and involving three models: the physical and physiological, the social environment of the people, and the human being's relationship to their inner nature. So another American psychologist said that human beings are inseparable from the environment. So before we make decisions, we will take into considerations different aspects such as the three models of the physical and physiological, the social, and the human being's relationship. Next, Ludwig Binswanger, an existential psychologist, explained that humans have complete freedom of choice or free will and are completely responsible for their own existence. There was always the possibility of becoming something new or better because existence changes. How can you correct mistakes from the past? Change your mindset. Change is always a choice. You need to realize that you can control your own behavior and need to make better choices. Things don't just happen. You can take much more effective control of your life through planning. So we should remember that we should have a growth mindset. We continue to grow and we will change for the better because as a human, that is our distinct characteristic to be something better than before. What are the strategies to promote change and foresee the possible wrong decisions and future actions? According to American psychologist Gerald Corey, first thing is to explore what your wants, needs, and perceptions are. Try to recognize, define, and refine how you wish to meet your needs. Second, focus on what you are doing at the present and think of your future direction. Take action by changing what you are doing and thinking. Third, make a self-evaluation. It is your responsibility to evaluate your own behavior. And lastly, formulate your action plan. Creating and carrying out your plans enable you to gain more effective control over your life. If your plan does not work, devise a different plan. Your commitment is essential to carry out your plans. So, as stated by American psychologist Gerald Corey, you should be conscious on how you will meet your needs. You should be focused. You should be on the right direction. Of course, you should also make self evaluation for you to check if you can be successful or not. And you will also make an action plan. If the action plan is not just a plan, so you should do something in order for that plan to materialize. If that plan won't work, you will devise another plan that will best suit you. What are the factors that affect our decisions? We act or decide based on different considerations and factors. Most especially if the situations demand a very important decision, we need to carefully assess our choices and calculate the risks that we might face. So, number one that affects our decision is the environment. The people around us, including the current setup, affect the way we see things. They can influence our beliefs and perception and the consequence of our actions. There are times that we intend to compare how they face a certain problem with the way we face it ourselves. This is something that we need to get away from as we are all different, including the situations we are in. Because we are surrounded by different people, we are always comparing with other people, but we should remember that no two people are the same because we are diverse. So what another person experience is different from you, so you will have a different strategy to solve your problem because we are all in different situations. So we must face it ourselves because it is our own problem. Experiences. Our past encounter with people and the results of our decisions before mold how we act and decide today. For instance, if you have proven that a certain person should not be trusted with your secrets, then you won't entrust him or her the confidential matters that you have. The same thing if you have tested action to be effective like your study habits which led you to get high grades, then there is a great possibility to replicate such practice. Our experiences, whether good or bad, shape the way we behave nowadays. We make decisions based on our experiences. As they say, experience is the best teacher. So we can say that it is very effective in terms of making decision because it is or it has been tried and tested. Next, personal characteristics. We should also take into account the function of our culture, attitude, personality, belief, abilities, gender, health, condition, and other in terms of our way of making decision. You have to recognize that there are enabling and limiting aspects of your personal characteristics. For instance, in your culture, there may be a stigma on the role of man or woman. It is now up to you whether you want to live up to that expectation or not. You may want to look into what science tells about healthy and unhealthy practices. So another factors that we make in order to make sound decision is the personal characteristics. we before we decide, we think of the personal characteristics, facts or data. It is a good practice that decide It is a good practice to decide based on the merit of actual facts or data. It will definitely inform you on the exact scenario you are dealing with, and you can calculate how your decisions would impact the situation. For example, you need to decide on your curriculum exit. You may check the number of schools where you can pursue whatever course you have to plan to have. At the same time, you may look into data on the SHS graduates who were employed after basic education and those that venture into business. So if we make decisions, we look for the facts or data, which is very effective. Like the senior high school students who are who have graduated and have choice who have chosen different curriculum exit. For example, employment, middle level skills development, entrepreneurship, higher education. So, as a graduate of senior high school who wants to take a college course, you can look to the data about the senior high school graduates. Are they now successful or not in their chosen curriculum exit in order to make sound and effective decisions for yourself? So always think positive. You can do it, and we need a motivation. Our drive to achieve certain things influences our decisions. Sometimes we need to let go of small things in order to attain greater things. For example, you slip away your opportunity to be with your friends on a Saturday because it's your schedule for college application interview. Your goal to be a college graduate is bigger than your desire to enjoy the company of your friends, so you opted to be at the interview. So if we make decisions, we have motivation. So just like the example, good times with friends can be skipped because you have a goal to reach. But if you have been able to answer the interview successfully and you earn the job, you can have more time with your friends. So you should be motivated in order to make very good decisions that will affect your future. Your decisions will define the kind of choices you are taking. At the end of the day, you will be the one to face whether consequences these decisions bring. Hence, your decision making process is very important. If you are in doubt or confused about your choices, you may want to go to someone who is well trained to guide and facilitate your decision making process, like a registered guidance counselor. If a registered guidance counselor is not available in the school, you may consider getting insights of your trusted teacher, parents, or adults. So if you have any queries, you can talk to our guidance counselor. You can talk to me, to your parents, or adults. So don't be in hesitation to ask questions. So we will be glad to answer your questions. So for the activity, we have here a table, a situation. We have three columns: a situation, what is your decision, what are the factors that led you to the decision. So example of situation number one: a group of learners invited you to join a virtual organization and encouraged you to meet new friends. To become a member, you need to follow certain rules. So what is your decision? So you will put in that place. And next, what are the factors that led you to the decision? So what are decisions that the factors that we have discussed? We have environment, motivation, facts or data, personal characteristics. So those are what you will put in the factors that led to your decision. So what I have learned. You will go back to the story of Anton in Let's Try This. If you have the power to travel back in time and help him out in choosing for the best school and course to take in college, what advice will you give him? Write your answer in a letter format on a piece of paper. So it will go like, Dear Anton, love and your name. So we'll write an advice for Anton. For share your thoughts and feelings. On your answer sheet, write your personal experiences depicting right or wrong decisions you made during this pandemic. You have made right or wrong decisions during this pandemic, so I hope you can share it with me and you can write it in a piece of paper. So cite the reasons why you did such acts and how you resolved the issues, because as we said, we should practice thinking aloud our decisions. So thank you very much. God bless us everyone. Stay healthy. Thank you very much. So I hope you will make good decisions because of this module. Again, God bless us.